Alright, my name is Evan, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. So, before I start, I want to talk a little bit about myself and the kind of person I am. I live in the United States. I live in Maine, so I'm in the Northeast. I've been collecting coins. I like coins. I also like family history, that kind of thing, the genealogy. I've always just kind of had a knack for respecting history, respecting people older than me, and I think it came from my grandparents and the impact they had on me when I was young. But enough about that. Before I start, one more point. The people on cointalk.com are the only reason I've even delved into these ancient coins. Before I was just doing the roll searching, purchasing US coins, and I really liked world coins. But the only reason I ever started to jump into the ancient coins is because of the people on cointalk.com. So those people are great. If you're watching this video and you haven't been there and checked it out, made an account, posted some stuff, I highly recommend it because people are great. I actually got some gifts from some of those members to kind of get me started. So, to start, got this book here. Let me show it on the other camera here. So that was from a member. He did not even put his name on the package or his return address, or else I would have sent like a really nice letter. But I lost his information on the website, so I just wanted to post that here. If he sees that, thank you very much. I've just kind of started getting into it. I'm not incredibly far because I'm a senior in high school and I don't have that kind of time. But I promise I'll read that book. I promise I'll get through it a bit more because, it really interests me. And another little gift I received from another member of that website, just a couple more ancient coins. I won't name him in case he preserves his privacy. If he wants to be named, then so be it, but I haven't asked, so I just don't want to put that out there. But now on to the real topic. This is my coin. I just won this on Forum Ancient Coins. Just received it 2 days ago. Today's November 8th, so November 6th came through the mail, and I took a couple days to admire it, talk to people, get some advice on how to take care of it and the like. Now, I don't know if you can, there we go. You can see it's obviously pitting a little bit. Just gonna take a little look with the toothpick right in the forehead there. That little spot there, that's the most concerning spot for me because I think it just takes away from the portrait. The bust there, I think it's really nice looking. I think either way, I like the coloration here and down across the bottom, but flip it to the other side here where we have the eagle. That's really concerning to me. And the last thing I want is BD on my new coins when I'm just starting to get into this. But pretty cheap, a cheap lesson, so I'm hoping that I can clean this for you. Now, to do this, I've never really done this. This is going to be my very first time, so I want to document this because this is a big moment for me as a collector and especially someone delving into ancients. So, before I get into that, I just want to talk about the coin a little bit. So this is from Gordian III from the Alexandria Mint in modern-day Egypt. The eagle there, and that says, I believe that's year 3. I think I have it written down over here. Yep, year 3. Weighs in at 11.7 grams. So it's a little bit on the heavier side. Just the first thing I thought when I really opened this was, the thickness is just like that. Just being someone who's kind of done world coins and especially modern coins, this is just absolutely amazing to me. I just think it's beautiful, and I really like the the shape and the abnormalities. I mean, it's just beautiful to me. Now, to start getting into this, because I really want to get into this, but it's not going to be done today. So this is going to be a multi-part video. Probably just going to compile them all into one at some point. Now, I'm really, really worried about that forehead spot. I'm really worried. Just because I can't see how deep that damage really goes. So I'm hoping that that spot, and especially the forehead, aren't in a severe place. The last thing I want is my first real coin that I won in an auction online myself to succumb to bronze disease and, you know, kind of ruin itself over time. That would be such a negative start. That's the last thing I want. So, kind of start out, I just want to get a real good look here at the damage, at the corrosion. Potentially active is what the listing said, and I still decided to put a little bit on it, but down there, and just kind of ugly. It just kind of, it definitely takes away from the portrait, the green right on the forehead there. Looks like a bullet wound or something. That was my joke when I first saw it on online. But I mean, I'm really sad that I'm gonna have to. This color is this. It's just gonna strip off, and I'm really sad about that because I want to keep that. I think it adds a lot of character, but this concerns me a lot. This is the most concerning place besides the forehead because this needs to go. This needs to go right there. So I was told, because I'm so new at this and I've never really done this, the soft stuff is the stuff I have to worry about. So if I kind of take a little look in there, let's see if I can. Take a little look with my toothpick. It doesn't look like any of it is. It's not really having an effect. It's very, very tough. And I tried to try and get some of this out before I started recording this video, before I even had the idea to make a video on this. But I guess we'll see where that takes us, because either way, if there's anything, I just don't want to lose this, because I think this is like a landmark for me. This is a very special coin for me. Now, to go on to the things I'll be using in this little series of videos, I guess. Let me sit down here. I will be using these toothpicks here just at the local grocery store. I work at the competitor grocery store, so don't blame me for buying these, but we just had these in the house, little rounded toothpicks, plenty of them. I'm not going to need that many, but have a toothbrush. This has not been in my mouth. I mean, I'll gladly put it in my mouth just because I just took it out of the package, but still, it's kind of this is going to be my coin brush, at least for the time being. Obviously, I have my coin here with bronze disease, potentially active corrosion, very scary to me. And I have a full gallon Poland Spring distilled water. I'm very, I was afraid it was going to be more expensive than it was, $1.50. I picked that up. But to get started, I guess we're just going to have to jump in, and I will start with the water here, unopened. Let me empty that out there. That'll be enough. My nice little Pyrex bowl. All right, now my hope is that if this will spread across my coin, and hopefully, I mean, worst case, it spreads to my other coins. I'd absolutely hate that. So to be safe, I'm going to take care of this in distilled water, change it every other day for, I'm thinking maybe 10 days, and we'll see how it looks then. If it doesn't, if nothing really changes, then obviously I'll stick it in for a little longer. But because this is my first time, I'm willing to experiment, especially because this is a coin that was on the cheaper side. So I didn't put in a extreme investment on this. So that's just good to know. So I guess we'll give it a little dip here. All right. And we'll see what my little toothbrush does. Dip that in there too. Get it nice and wet for you. I mean, first look, it just feels so weird putting this in the water. Just my first thought is like, don't do it, but for the sake of my coin, I feel like I must. So, that takes precedence over how I feel. Right now, I feel like I'm saving a little piece of history. I mean, this coin is nearly 1,800 years old. 1,800 years in another, 15 years. So that, to me, rationalizes the cleaning of it. And I asked a bunch of people, and the people on the website said, clean it, or return it. But I knew it was there, so I knew what was coming. I don't want to be the liar that returns it for BD when I knew it had BD. So, do a little bit more scrubbing here. Try and get into that little crack on that little pit in the forehead. Oh, that's going to stress me out. That is going to be the thing that stresses me out. That little, get myself in focus here. That little crack in that forehead is going to make me mad. But we'll my soft bristle toothbrush here. I'm just hoping that I can preserve the rest of this portrait, because this portrait, to me, I find that a very attractive portrait. I really like the detail that remains, especially in the hair. You got to kind of look, but it's kind of I think once this coin is cleaned up a bit, it'll be much more beautiful than I can even imagine. Than it, in comparison to right now. Give that a little dip again. Bring that back up here for you. Very, very hard. Doesn't look like that's doing much at all, if anything. So I think that'll be enough for day one. Tomorrow I will perform a little bit more scrubbing. Obviously keep the water, because I don't want to change that out too often. But there's that for you. Getting him down in there. Pop my toothbrush right on top. Got my little toothpicks for next time. All right, and yeah, so day one, I've examined the coin, kind of explained it a little bit, toothpicked it, softly brushed it. Looks like got some little air bubbles going on down there. But I softly toothbrushed it, tried to see what I could get off, and decided that we need to suspend it or place it in the distilled water for some time. So every single day for a few days now, every single day for a few days, I'm going to perform the little bit of scrubbing, maybe try and toothpick a little bit, and hopefully over time I can get rid of this corrosion, especially if it's active. I mean, the worst thing for me right now is that corrosion. That's the only thing that's having me do this. Obviously, I wouldn't have done this without the BD, the corrosion occurring on the coin. And maybe even I wouldn't even do it if there wasn't the pit in the forehead, because that pit in that forehead really, it scares me. I mean, not necessarily, I'm not going to go and cry about it, but I'm in fear that I can ruin the eye appeal of this coin. But that'll wrap it up for this video for day 1, November 8th, 2019.